Hi, this is Debbie from RAMM Horse Fencing and Stalls, and Mikey is with us too today, who takes care of all of our stall division. And we have a special guest with us today. This is Jeff Jackson from AZZ Galvanization. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you.
And we want to talk to you about galvanization with your stalls. We feel it's extremely important for you to understand galv a little bit more, because when you're choosing your stalls or the products for your horses that they're going to be around, we feel it's important to know some of the little fine details about galvanization. So, Jeff, can you tell us a little bit about galvanization and the process, just the process of, like, we do our grill work, what all do we send over to Galv, Mikey?
So basically, any of the stalls that we make, we can hot dip galvanize. We run our tighter bar spacing that we use consistent through our stalls. You can't fit a tennis ball through it, right. So we like to keep a tighter bar spacing. And on top of that, the galvanizing, we have worked with AZZ for close to 20 years now, and between working with Jeff, working with the company itself, have figured out what works well and what does not work well.
So let me just say this, as a family-owned business, I don't know if all of you know this or not, but we actually make our products right here on site. So Mikey is my son, and he works over at RFI, and we make sure that all of your bar spacing is accurate. It's not off, it's close together. We take the product, we weld it here, everything's looked over, it's quality controlled, and we're extremely detailed about what we do. Our men that work over in welding are just craftsmen, truly. So once we build our grill work, our doors, whatever it is for you as a customer or audience, for your stall work and so forth, then it's going to go over to Jeff then after that then. And then Jeff takes it from there. And Jeff, you go from there. Do you tell us what, with the process a little bit, just look lightly on the process of and, what you do?
Sure, absolutely. When we get the fence stalls and the products in, I'll run them through a pickle process to clean them so the steel is bare and clean. And then we run a hot dip galvanizing facility, so we'll immerse the product in 840 degree zinc at the bath temperature. Mm-hmm. And we'll bring that out, and that'll form a very, very hard protective coating, not only on the outside, but the inside of the product.
And you meet standards, specific standards, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We galvanize all the product to ASTM A123.
Okay. So that ensures our customers then too that the process is going to be something that is done according to, is it the American, is there a process that is the American?
Standard testing of materials.
Okay.
Yes.
So, so then from there then, you go on to just the galvanizing process then, and that coating basically covers everything. So can you talk about, we put weep holes, they're called weep holes in our products, and then the galv goes inside and out. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. One of the benefits of hot dip galvanizing is you get the protection on the outside of the product, not only on the outside of the product, but also on the inside where other applications do not reach. So the product gets fully coated in zinc, which is going to give many, many years of longevity out of the product.
And does everybody do that, inside and outside, with the...
So that's every single crevice of the part, every single nook and cranny. If you picture a giant bathtub full of molten zinc, your part is fully submerged down inside there. So inside and out, every single part. There cannot be any sealed cavities because it has to be fully submerged all the way through. A lot of companies are starting to use a pre-galvanized material and will paint over top of that. We've used pre-galvanized material for about 10 years now. It presents its own manufacturing obstacles and issues, but one of the things that is a downside to it is your most critical points, your weld points, the pre-galvanized material gets burned off, and then we coat over top of that. So although the part is partially protected, you're only getting paint on the outside portion, and anywhere that you've welded, the opposite side of that, you burn the galvanizing off. This, we take the part, we fully weld our part all the way out, and then we send it out, which again gets fully submerged inside and out. There is no better protection than hot dip galvanizing.
And I really didn't understand the longevity of galvanization, but our choices are powder coated paint or gal. And the one thing that we can say is that powder coated is beautiful, but all we can say is that this is with ours or anyone's. If a horse scratches that powder coated paint, then there's going to be some touch up that needs to be done. Now, with our products, it's not going to rust, but you still need to touch that. But with the Galv, it's totally different. If you could talk about that, then you were talking about the, do it once. So maybe you'd like to talk about that, Jeff.
Yes, absolutely. When you're dealing with a hot dip galvanized product, if it does get a scratch in it, it's going to have some healing properties where it can help repair itself. Also, if you do get a nick in it or whatnot, there's not going to be able rust that's going to be able to form and get underneath of it like a painted material. It's the zinc is the anode and the steel is the cathode, and the anode protects the steel. So it's a nice benefit. Know that you're not going to have any chipping or flaking at any point with hot dip galvanized.
And the longevity, we can't exactly put a time on that, but we can just tell you that it outweighs any other type of really. Maybe you'd like to talk about that. Like
I can say it will outlive us.
Okay.
We've had galvanizing that's been in the field for many years, and I think an issue or a topic that we'll get into here is what you'll see over time with galvanizing, the difference in the actual cosmetics of the finish, but the actual finish and protection itself will last longer than us. The powder paint, as you had talked about, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. One way or another, the horses are either going to scratch that paint or rub on it or rake their teeth down the tubes. And that's when you'll have the failure, the coating will fail. And that's when you'll start to get rust on the parts and so forth. And I've always told any customer that I've talked to, powder coat is a type of finish that requires maintenance. It depends on your horses. It may be once a month, maybe once every few months, maybe once a year. But either way, powder coat over time does require maintenance on a more regular basis to keep the look there. Galvanizing does not.
Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about then too is when we talk about galvanizing, like if there's a nick or whatever, the zinc itself is self-healing. So it actually does go back over onto that nick and heals itself then and lasts much longer, which is something that paint just absolutely does not do. So and galvanization basically is zinc that won't hurt horses, correct? I mean it's if they look at you whatever, I mean it's zinc basically.
It's zinc. It occurs naturally in the environments, in our air, in our water, in our soil. A lot of folks even take zinc supplements. Zinc is zinc is zinc, and it's essential for life, so absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit then about like the color of Galv. I know our customers and some people have asked us about the Galvs. Sometimes it's really shiny, and sometimes there's like a matte gray. What about that? Why?
Sure, the only reason you're going to get a shininess is because the zinc itself just went from a liquid to a solid. Over time, it's going to turn to a dull matte gray color. If you've ever driven down the road and you see a new guardrail, it's nice and shiny. If you drive by it, let's say 3 weeks, a month, 2 months later, it's going to start going dull, and pretty soon it's going to look the same as the other guardrails. So
it's about a how long of a month process then for it to go from shiny to, I mean, it could be about?
Yeah, it depends on the environment. It could be a month, it could be 6 months, it could be 2 years, but it's always changing until it gets its final patina color.
Okay, so basically eventually that Galv will turn like a matte gray, and that's standard, that's the way that it should be. I know you said that there are some different things too that a customer might see. It's like almost like layers on top of layers on the Galv when they first get it or whatever, but that just turns into a matte gray as well. Is that just the process of, I mean, it's all acceptable, totally acceptable, and won't change anything for the customer? No,
it will not change the performance of it. The zinc coating itself will go through different growth stages, and it's just until it's arrived to a zinc carbonate look. It's just it's growing. There's no reason for concern.
Okay, all right. So another question that I know some of our customers have sometimes is they may get some grill work. If it's galvanized, they might cut it, but that's something that we can talk to them about and touch up. But when you do our anything with our products, everything is coated then, even edges and so forth, or what? Can you tell us about that?
The great thing about hot dip galvanizing material is whenever you have an edge, that edge is going to be fully protected because the coating grows perpendicular to the surface. Unlike a paint where you get a thinner coating on an edge, you don't get that thinner coating with a hot dip galvanized product. So you get that additional edge protection also.
Okay. Is there anything else that either of you would like to say that you'd like to tell customers, or if customers do have questions, you are welcome to present them, pose them. You can put them on Facebook, or you can call us. You're welcome to call us. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about today that we offer?
I would just like to say, if you are looking for the absolute best hot dip galvanized USA made horse stalls and accessories, look to us. We've been doing this for years. We have great support when it comes to working with our galvanizers. And if you look across the board and you look at who is hot dip galvanizing, running actual hot dip galvanized material, you look at the quality of the actual finish, you will see that we come out ahead every time. We go through a thorough audit and inspection process in our building before it ever even leaves site. It goes out to the galvanizers who take great care with our parts and who, again, have worked with us close to 20 years. It then comes back to us where we go through, file, deburr, and do a final audit and inspection on the entire part before it's professionally packaged and sent out to you. So I can tell you, you will be more than happy with the pieces that we offer in hot dip now and over time.
Okay, and then also too then, Jeff, just in closing too though, I know you do big like parts and things. You do like the lights and things, you know, for the highway. I mean, you have big companies that come to you that must last for a long, long time, and you've been doing this for a long time. So the products that you've worked on, if you'd like to just talk about, you know, what you have done, some of the big companies or things or whatever that you worked with. I mean, and you're working on our products as well then. So.
Sure, absolutely. There's many products out there that are hot dip galvanized. You know, you can drive down the highway and you can see them quite a bit. Our United States military believes in hot dip galvanizing. I do some products for them.
Yep.
Absolutely. And you know, yes, I am a hot dip galvanizer, but I'm also, my daughter also owns thoroughbred horses at my place. And you know, we do hot dip galvanizing at my facility. I'd rather buy a quality product one time than a mediocre you know, piece of material multiple times. So.
Yes, and I think you would be the person to know what would go best in the barn if you're choosing that galvanized material, because it's longer lasting and it's just, you just can't beat it for longevity and a good product in a barn. So
I'd like to do it once and be done with it. Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. So, you know, our thing is that we want to help you do things once, not have to do it over and over again. So this is an exceptionally good choice. So if you do have any questions, feel free to either give us a call. You can call us at 800-853-1611. You can post your questions on our website, or you can call us, either one, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. So have a wonderful holiday Christmas season, and we're hoping we can help you with your stalls or any of your needs in your barn through the winter time and into the summer, whenever it is. So thank you very much, and hope to hear from you soon.